In Greek mythology, Hestia was one of the Olympian goddesses, daughter of Cronus and Rhea, personified the fire of the home. Hestia hardly ever left Olympus, and never interfered in the disputes of the gods and humans, so paradoxically she rarely appears in mythological stories despite being one of the main goddesses of Greek religion. She was the Greek goddess of the home and family. She is usually considered one of the 12 Olympian gods living on Mount Olympus, so make yourself comfortable and let's see the story of Hestia. Hestia is a goddess of the first Olympian generation. She was the eldest daughter of the Titans Rhea and Cronus, and sister of Zeus, Poseidon, Demeter, Hera and Hades. Immediately after her birth, Cronus devoured all his children. Hestia was the first, except the last and youngest, Zeus, who forced him to vomit his brothers and led them in a war against his father and other titans. She was usually depicted as a modest woman wearing a veil and holding a flowering branch. She was a kind and gentle goddess who did not get involved with the politics and rivalries of the other Olympian gods. To her late brother Zeus she made a promise to always remain a virgin. Due to this oath, Hestia rejected the marriage proposals of Poseidon and Apollo, as it was now determined that she would always be untouched by men. For that reason, along with Athena, goddess of wisdom and strategy, and Artemis, the goddess of hunting, she was one of the 3 virgin goddesses and one of the 12 Olympian deities. Although Hestia made this promise to Zeus, home and family were her domains. She was the personification of every fire that burned in every home in Greece. There was also a public hearth in every city that burned in honor of Hestia. This was a fire that could never be extinguished. When new colonies were founded, a flame was carried from the old city to the new. Meals in every household in ancient Greece began and ended with an offering to Hestia. Newborns of the family were blessed when presented in their home. Many Greek temples had a Hestia area, including the Temple of Apollo at Delphi. Zeus assigns Hestia the duty of maintaining the fires of the Olympian hearth with the combustible fat portions of the animal sacrifices to the gods. Wherever food was cooked, or an offering burned, she was to have her share. The Olympian rank of Hestia is complicated since in Athens, at the time of Plato, Kenneth Dorder points out, there was a discrepancy in the list of the 12 chief gods, as to whether Hestia or Dionysus was included with the other 11. For example, the altar to them in the Agora included Hestia, but the eastern frieze of the Parthenon had Dionysus instead. The omission of Hestia from some lists of the 12 Olympians is usually taken as an illustration of her passive, non-belligerent nature, giving her Olympian seat to the more energetic Dionysus avoid celestial conflict. But no ancient source or myth describes her deposition or removal. In ancient Greece, Hestia had no public cult to be venerated. However, each city had a common hearth that was kept alight at all times in honor of the goddess. In addition, households throughout the country kept their own personal hearth in Hestia's name. During meals, families poured sweet wine in her honor. They also granted her the largest portion of food before meals, and worshipped her afterwards. Although she remained with very few temples, she was often worshipped in others, no matter which god they were dedicated to. This only goes to show that people never forgot her importance and were very grateful for her watchful eye, care and protection. No temples, no children, simple, modest and kind, the goddess of home, was always appreciated and loved throughout ancient Greece, by gods and mortals alike. I hope you liked her story and remember to subscribe so you don't miss next videos. See you later.